Hi there. I want to ask you a question, kind of put out a challenge. It's for your own good, like it's proved to be for my own good. I want you to think about what's your violence quotient lately in your head. How are you doing with that? I've been thinking about this for a long time. I've been a cop show junkie for a long time. Hill Street Blues was one of my favorite shows, and all up until now. And I'm not saying that these shows aren't well produced. They are. I'm not saying they're not well acted. They're amazing. They're really well done shows. And they're usually in the last hour before the news, before you go to bed, because of content and some language, violence. How many dead bodies have you seen in your living room this week? How many dead bodies have you seen on autopsy tables this week? Dead bodies being examined by CSI examiners. How many shootings have you seen this week on your television set? I'm talking mainly about the networks, not cable, just the networks, because everyone can afford the networks because it's free. Don't have to buy anything to get violence in the last hour before the news, before you go to bed, with your head filled with images of death and shooting, guns, horror, dismay. A lot of people love these shows. I've loved these shows until I found that I was watching them every night. I sleep better now that I don't watch them. It's still tough because some of their promos have the violence in the promos. Not all, but some. I just want you to pay a little attention in the next couple weeks and let me know what you find out about your violence quotient. It's a violent world, and I understand that. But when you have one weekend, this past weekend, where in Chicago there were shootings, I believe, 9 people are dead. Some of them were gang related, some of them were drive-bys, which may or may not be gang related. One person shot up a plumbing supply store with an AK-47. So from Friday through Monday of this last weekend, that many shooting incidents. And the Chicago police put some of it down to the fact that the weather was nicer and people are out, but I don't know if it's that unusual for Chicagoland. How's your violence quotient? What are you seeing in the couple hours before you try and put your head on a pillow and try to sleep? These images, I truly believe, and I could be wrong, but I don't think I am, these images are toxic to you. They're toxic to me. And that's why I turned them off now. 9 o'clock rolls round in the Central Time Zone. That's the last hour before the news. And I find anything but a cop show. There can still be some killing, but there's less. I'm sleeping through the night. I'm sleeping longer. Better. What's your violence quotient? What are you putting into your head every night? Because if you're watching network TV in the hour before the news, you're watching cop shows more often than not. If it's not a cop show, it's a medical show with blood and gore and stuff like that too. And I love the medical shows too. So I'm a junkie. I'm trying to wean myself off of this stuff because it's toxic to me and it's toxic to you. And I'd like you to think about, what are you putting into your head? What images are you funneling into your brain before you try and have a good night's sleep? What kind of images are you putting into your head as a human being? I would imagine in the year 600 AD, unless you were in a war zone, you didn't have at least 2 killings in your living room a night. I really don't think the human being was designed for toxic images. And don't get me started on advertising. That's a whole other piece. Let's just talk about the violence quotient. How's yours? Think about it. That's all I'm asking. How's your violence quotient? What are you putting into your head? What are you funneling into your brain before you try to sleep at night? Think about it. Could save you some Z's, and it might even help with peace. Another little problem of mine. Just think about it. Turn them off if you feel like it. I have. I'm good with it so far. I even try and avoid the promos. So try it. Try it just for a little while. See how it works out for you. But check your violence quotient. It might be pretty high and you may not even realize it. Thank you.